Did you know that Malcolm X's mother spoke 4 languages, was a Pan-African activist, and was institutionalized for 25 years for being too black, too proud? Yeah, I'm sure they didn't teach you that in school. Before the world knew Malcolm, there was Louise Little. She was a fearless Garveyite, a brilliant strategist, and a woman who taught her babies to walk in their power long before they could even pronounce the word liberation. Born in Grenada in 1894, her story started with trauma. Her grandparents were kidnapped from West Africa, but they were rescued by British Navy and forced into indentured labor. Her mother, Edith, was raped by a white Scottish man. From that act of violence, Louise was born. But Louise turned that pain into purpose. She was fluent in English, French, Creole, and patois. She was educated, strategic, and she refused to bow. When she moved to Canada and joined Marcus Garvey's UNIA, she found her calling to build up the race one household at a time. She married Earl Little, a bold black preacher from Georgia, and together they traveled the Midwest, spreading Garvey gospel of black nationalism, land ownership, and self-sufficiency. But that kind of power, it scared folks, especially when it came from a black couple teaching other black folks to think freely. They weren't hurting anybody. They were minding their business, trying to unify their people, and the Klan came for them in Omaha. They had to keep moving to Milwaukee, to Lansing, because everywhere they went, their message of self-sufficiency made enemies. In 1929, their home was burned down by white supremacists. Then in 1931, Earl was killed, run over, and mutilated by a streetcar. Louise knew better. She said that the Black Legion, a Klan-affiliated white supremacist group, killed him. But the police, they ruled it a suicide. And guess what? The insurance company refused to pay out his life insurance policy. One of them ruled that it was a suicide. The other one claimed that the death was an accident. Either way, she got nothing. A widowed mother of 8, starving, grieving, and still she refused to let the system win. But the system had another play. Welfare workers didn't like her resistance. She wouldn't beg. She wouldn't lower her standards. She demanded dignity, and they labeled her crazy. So in 1938, they took her children and they locked her away in a mental institution for 25 years. Why? Because she was too proud. She was too educated, and she was too unapologetically black, because she refused to raise her children under the foot of white supremacy. But her children never gave up on her. Malcolm, along with his siblings, worked tirelessly to secure their mother's release. In 1963, after 25 years of institutionalization, Louise was finally free. She spent the remainder of her life surrounded by her family, living in Michigan until her passing in 1989. But Louise wasn't just Malcolm X's mother. She was the blueprint. She taught him to love blackness. She taught him to speak boldly. She taught him that we come from kings and queens, not criminals in chains. Her story is our story. It's about how strong black women are policed, punished, and pathologized for doing what any other woman would be praised for. And that's protecting her children and fighting for her family's future. Louise Little is a revolutionary matriarch. And every time we rise, build, and resist, we also carry her name. So today, we honor her, but not just because she gave birth to Malcolm, but because she gave birth to a movement. Now drop a black fist in the comments and share it with someone who needs to hear this Black History gem.